Hello guys, my name is Joshua Hardata. In today's video, we will talk about frequently asked questions on koi carp. Any koi is only worth what someone will pay for it, but one Japanese show-winning fish sold for £1.4 million. But how big do koi grow? Koi carp can grow to 120 centimeters in length, although any fish over 100 centimeters is considered huge. So, this one fact make the koi carp as one of the biggest ornamental fish. Did you know, most koi don't grow much over 60 centimeters in length in average garden ponds, and a number of factors affect growth including genetics, water temperature, food, space and water quality. If a fish didn't have large parents and isn't fed the best food, in year-round warm water, in a large pond, it may never grow to record size. Miserably, lots of people think their koi are large. Ghost koi grow big and quickly, but if you go to a koi show and see a 90 centimeters or even a 100 centimeters jumbo, you'll be amazed at just how big that is. If that's so, what are koi worth? Any koi is only worth what someone will pay for it, but one Japanese show-winning fish sold for £1.4 million. High-quality Japanese koi worth over £20,000 have been bought and imported to the UK, but at that sort of money, it is all about bloodline, parentage, shape, skin quality, pattern, variety and the potential to be a champion. All show winners are female as they grow larger than males, size is rewarded, and the most expensive fish are always gosanki, one of 3 varieties including kohaku, sank and showa. Red and white kohaku are the most desirable variety at the moment, winning shows in the UK, Europe and Japan. Ghost koi are crosses between koi carp and mirror carp and are rarely worth more than £100, regardless of size. If a fish is big, it may not be worth much either, as value is related to the pattern, body shape and bloodline. In that point, ghost koi, or any bad hobbit koi, are worthless, because of the cost of maintenance are the same. Then, what do koi eat? In the wild, carp are omnivores, eating everything from worms and snails to mosquito larvae, plant matter and detritus. They eat from the top, middle and bottom water layers, slurping food from the surface or sifting muddy substrates for juicy morsels. Anglers will know koi will eat anything from sweet corn to spam, to maggots and boilies. In captivity, koi are fed floating food sticks and pellets almost exclusively. Different diets are available for different times of the year and water temperatures, with low-protein wheat germ being fed in cold weather, and high-protein growth and color foods being fed in summer months. If you want great koi, don't skimp on good food, as good ingredients don't come cheap. For maximum growth potential, load up an automatic fish feeder to feed your fish several times a day when you're not there. We are human, love sexes, but how do you breed koi? Koi carp are egg scatterers with slimmer, smaller males chasing the larger females before pushing them into weeds and expelling thousands of eggs and sperm together. Do nothing in a large planted pond and your koi may spawn of their own accord when the water warms in spring and summer. They eat their own eggs after spawning, so wait to see if a few survive or remove the plants they spawned on and raise separately. If you want to deliberately breed koi, separate a ripe female and 2 males and move them to a spawning vat containing only water, an air stone, and koi spawning brushes. On a sunny morning, if the temperature is right, they will spawn before the parents are placed back in the main pond and the eggs and fry are raised separately. Professional breeders may even hand strip selected males and females, squeezing the fish's flanks by hand and mixing eggs and sperm in a bowl. Fry can be placed in a growing pond consisting of green water and live Daphnia or raised on newly hatched Artemia. Young koi on sale have all been through the culling process whereby only the fastest growing fry with the best patterns are selected. A high-quality fish may literally be 1 in a million. What size pond do koi need? Most Japanese koi owners aim for a koi ponds of 5,000 gallons 22,700 liters, or about 15 feet x 10, x 5, 5 m x 3 m x 1.5 meters. Depth is important for overwintering and developing good body depth. Too small a pond and your koi will stunt. It is true that koi will only grow to the size of the garden pond as they release growth-inhibiting hormones when overcrowded. Understock and change lots of water in order to facilitate growth. Do koi eat plants? Yes, koi can and do eat plants, and in plant-free ponds, some koi keepers feed their fish on whole lettuces to provide some roughage. In the main pond, plants can be damaged by koi as they root in and around them in their search for aquatic invertebrates. Some koi will eat all the plants that are placed with them, while in other ponds they won't eat any. This could be down to a number of factors, including not getting enough food or being dietary deficient. But most of the times when water lilies don't do well with koi, it's because the delicate shoots are damaged early in the season and the rhizomes are dug at and exposed. A mature, potted lily with large floating leaves and soil protected by a deep layer of large stones is usually okay with most koi. How long do koi live? The answer is, this can vary greatly depending on the environment the koi are raised in, their diet and of course genetics. In most good quality backyard koi ponds, the koi can live upwards of 20 years, maybe even 30. In truly spectacular koi ponds with high-end filtration and larger amounts of water, some hobbyists have gotten over 40 years from their koi. However, this is nothing compared to koi that spend their life in mud ponds and lakes. The Japanese have koi that are well over 70 years old, but these never spend much time in small cement or liner tanks. They are in large mud-lined ponds fed by a natural spring. There are stories of koi living over 250 years. As far as I know, these are just rumors. How does one determine the value of a koi over another? The answer is, it can seem strange to the new hobbyist that one koi can sell for $100 and another only slightly different looking koi can sell for $1,000 or more. It is difficult to sum up what makes a koi valuable, but the easiest place to start is the koi show judging standards, as these will dictate what the rest of us pay for koi. Koi shows are not unlike dog shows. It's a competition with a koi viewed and judged by a group of experts. Numerous winners are chosen, including the grand champion. Just like in dog shows, the judges use a very specific, even rigid, set of standards to judge the koi. Body shape is by far the most important aspect and is worth the most points when judging the koi. Other attributes like skin quality, color and pattern also come into play. Each variety or type of koi also has their own set of standards for that variety. The value of the koi is often determined by how closely the koi fits into this set of judging standards and how well the koi would do if entered into a show. Koi that will do very well in a koi show are often referred to as show quality koi, and these will sell for a much higher price. But beware, not all koi marketed as show quality actually are. Can you ship koi? How long can a koi live in the bag? The answer is yes, koi are shipped all over the country and all over the world. Shipping koi domestically is much easier as there are no international customs to deal with. Simi Koi ships thousands of koi every year. The trick is the pure oxygen in the bag. Oxygen is actually more important than water. The koi only need enough water to cover the body and the rest is pure O2. Generally it's 1/3 water and 2/3 oxygen. With a little water conditioner the koi can be in the bag over 24 hours. I have had koi get delayed in shipment and arrive over 48 hours late and in perfect condition. The koi will produce large amounts of ammonia while in the bag, but a surprising thing happens at the same time: the pH drops very low. And the lower the pH, the less toxic the ammonia becomes. This allows the koi to live in the bag water even though there are very high levels of ammonia. That is also why, after shipping, you never want to mix any bag water with regular pond water. The result will dramatically increase the pH and in turn instantly make all that ammonia highly toxic to the koi. I have seen koi go belly up within minutes because somebody mixed pond water into the shipping bag. What is the difference between Japanese koi and domestic koi? While it is true that domestic koi are bred from Japanese parents and have much of the same bloodlines, they are not always the same. First, because the Japanese have about 200 years more breeding experience than we do. Also because to breed the best koi you must start with the best parent koi. But the absolute best koi never leave Japan, so the breeders here in the US have a handicap right from the start. They simply don't have access to the absolute best koi genetics. However, it's not fair to say all Japanese koi are better than all domestic koi. There are low-grade koi even in Japan. What is fair is to say the very best Japanese koi are better than the very best domestic koi. But how many of you will be buying the very best koi in Japan? Not many hobbyists these days are willing to spend more than a brand new BMW on one koi. Most hobbyists will buy high-grade and mid-grade koi that are still very beautiful and easily meet those judging standards I talk about above, but koi that do not represent the very best in Japan. It is in these categories that domestic koi are able to compete with the Japanese. In fact, many would be hard-pressed to tell the difference. I have always said, buy the koi, not the breeder. That means don't worry about where the koi came from, buy the best koi for the money. A long fin koi actually koi? Short answer, yes. However, there are those who will argue the point. I guess it depends on your definition of koi. Some will say that only those that conform to the conformation standards set forth in the judging guidelines are koi and all others are not. I suppose that is a valid argument. And by that definition longfin koi and butterfly koi do not fit those standards and are therefore not koi. But really, let's look at this a bit closer. Longfin koi were developed by an Indonesian river carp that had long flowing fins. The river carp was genetically close enough to breed with standard koi and produce fertile offspring. So right there is proof that they are very close genetically. But to take it further, koi and longfin koi have been bred and crossbred hundreds of times over in order to achieve the same patterns and colors as regular koi. Also, longfin koi are hardier than standard koi, because they are not as many generations removed from that wild longfin carp, and many Japanese breeders have crossed longfin koi with their existing parent stock in order to make their bloodlines more resistant to parasites and infections. So even a koi that appears to be a perfect standard fin koi may have some longfin grandparents. So to answer the question, genetically speaking, longfin koi are practically indecipherable from standard fin koi. But they are different looking and therefore considered a different type of koi. Can you mix large koi and small koi? Can you mix koi and goldfish? The answer is yes and yes. Koi and goldfish are both types of carp. They will live side by side in perfect harmony. Also, large koi will not eat or harm smaller koi. Larger koi will eat koi eggs after a spawn and perhaps the tiny koi fry after they are hatched. But a 24 inches koi will not eat a 4 inches koi. The only concern with mixing large koi and small koi or goldfish is that the larger koi tend to get all the food and smaller fish don't get the nutrients they need to grow. So the small koi can stay small if you don't take care to make sure they are also getting food. Sometimes just switching to a smaller pellet is enough. Large koi can eat a small pellet without issue. This is the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel. See you later, good guys.